Hi, I'm Claire, and today it's my birthday. So because it's a special occasion, I thought we'd do something a bit different today and talk about stuff that's happened this year. This year has been a dumpster fire in many ways, but it's almost finished. One of the things that's really helped me not feel too overwhelmed by the crappiness of this year was to remember to focus on the good things every once in a while. So today's video is going to be a bit of a grab bag of stuff that's made me happy despite this year being the worst. Positive changes in my life, excellent books I read, awesome experiences, films I enjoyed, new people I met, etc. Because I'm both YouTube old and extremely unoriginal, this video is going to be 31 things that made me happy in 2017. Number 1. This here piece of birthday cake. It's coffee and walnut and it's pretty tasty. Number 2. Doing those Twitter memes where I give one favorite book or character or trope for every like. I never list enough things for the number of likes that people leave, but it always cheers me up to go through the process of thinking of stuff I like. In case it wasn't obvious already, this type of meme was kind of the inspiration behind this video. Number 3. Reading more novellas. I didn't really read anything shorter than novels on a regular basis until about 2016. It took me a while to get used to the pacing of novellas, but I've read such a great selection this year. Of Sora and Such by Angela Slatter was fantastic. I also loved All Systems Red by Martha Wells, as well as, surprise surprise, Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Seanan McGuire, or more recent reads like Girl Reporter by Tansy Rayner Roberts. Number 4. Seeing my name in the acknowledgements of a book, which had never happened to me before. And what a book! Mur Lafferty's 6 Weeks is so great, and I've been a fan of Mur's podcast for so long. I still can't believe I'm like even remotely in her book. What? Number 5. Getting a new job. Back in March, I started working as a video editor and channel administrator for John's gaming channel, Many a True Nerd, here on YouTube. It was a bit daunting to basically shift the focus of my whole career, but it was such an exciting opportunity and I do love working for John. Number 6. Petting Tabby a lot. Now obviously Tabby's always a favourite of mine in any year, but in 2017 especially there have been quite a few instances where I felt rubbish or overwhelmed and I would just facepalm on my bed, listen to her purr, give her neck scritches, and it was just very soothing. She is the best cat. Number 7. The Delightful Giant Days. A slice of life comic about a group of friends making their way through university. Every new volume makes me so happy. Number 8. Working from home. There was definitely a substantial adjustment period and I'm still learning how to best manage my time, but I'm so relieved not to have to go through a really long daily commute anymore. Also, I get to see Tabby a lot more. Number 9. Wonder Woman. It was such a fun and upbeat movie, I really enjoyed it. So the villain was a bit meh, but Diana's earnest delight at ice cream and like the genuine shock at the concept of a white lie was just really refreshing. Gal Gadot is great in the role obviously, and I guess now I'm a Wonder Woman fan. Number 10. YouTube comments and Twitter messages from people letting me know they bought a book or read a book because of me. That's always been one of the best rewards of booktubing for me. It's an amazing feeling to know that people trust my judgment in that way. Number 11. My heated blanket. I got this as a Christmas present from John last year and I love it so much. I am terrible at falling asleep. It takes me forever to shut off my brain and relax, and the heated blanket really helps with that. Number 12. Dipping my toe into reading more romance, and especially discovering a new favourite author this year in Cat Sebastian. Her historical romances are now firmly on my auto-buy list, and she has 2 new books coming out next year. Number 13. Making new friends. I am very much an extrovert and I love talking to people, but that doesn't mean I don't get quite nervous meeting new people or getting to talk more with people I only know from Twitter, for instance. I'm not gonna name names because if I do, I'll forget some people and then I'll feel bad, but I felt very lucky this year in the people that I've gotten to know better, especially in SFF fandom. Number 14. It's always super exciting to see new books coming out from some of my favourite authors. The Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi came out earlier this year, though it feels like it was a lot longer than that. And I also loved Provenance by Ann Leckie. It was great to see a new story set in her Imperial Rat universe. Number 15, the short-lived podcast I made with Kay and Chelsea, Sisterhood of the Traveling Paperbacks. It sucks that we couldn't make the timings of recording work out well enough to continue doing the show. I really did enjoy making the episodes that we did make, and it inspired me to start my own podcast. Speaking of which, number 16, I started my own solo podcast, Radio Free Fandom. It's a really exciting project. It's also a bit daunting. It is a fanish chat show where I get to talk to guests about media that we love. The format isn't perfect yet, and honestly it's not really sustainable as a fortnightly podcast right now. You probably know because it's not been coming out every fortnight. So I'm looking to change things up a bit next year, but I'm really proud of the episodes that I've made so far. Number 17, actually liking Spider-Man Homecoming, which honestly I did not expect. Unlike many people I know, I've not grown up with Spidey, I don't have as much of an emotional attachment to him, and to be honest, I was quite annoyed at how much of Captain America Civil War was basically a trailer for Homecoming. So I went in with not great expectations, and I loved the film. It was good fun, the villain was awesome, and those Captain America PSAs absolutely cracked me up. Number 18, going to Nine Worlds here in London, which I've very much come to think of as my home convention. So many people that I know go there every year, the panels are great, there's quizzes and sing-alongs. I find it the best place to cosplay or just to dress up extra nerdily. I just love the atmosphere there. Fair warning, the next 5 entries are also about going to conventions this summer. I had such a blast. Number 19, like I said, Nine Worlds is always great, but this year was made even better because I was sharing a hotel room with my friends Neve and Susan, and we had such a fantastic time. It was basically an extended sleepover, and we had an awesome time chatting about all the fanish things, gossiping and playing card games. Neve and I talked about Les Mis so much that we basically turned Susan into a Les Mis fangirl by the end of the weekend. Number 20, going to my second Worldcon ever in Helsinki, Finland. It was great to see so many people that I'd only met on Twitter before, to hang out with the big group of booktubers that were there, and to see people I'd volunteered with, both at LaunCon 3 in 2014 and for Worldcon 75 itself. It was really awesome. Number 21, being on booktube related panels at Worldcon and at Nine Worlds. I had been on panels before, I'd also moderated panels before, and it's always a bit of a rush no matter what, but I'd never been on panels to speak about booktube specifically. The Nine Worlds panel with Caitlin from Kitty G, Eleanor from Eleanor Reads, and Stevie from Sable Cart was especially fun to do. That was also one I organized, so I was really proud of it. But the Worldcon panel that I was on about the future of book reviewing, that was a little bit further out of my comfort zone, so I'm really glad I did both of those. Number 22, seeing my amazing friends from Lady Business who inspire me so much to keep making content even when it's hard and to improve the quality of my content. Seeing them win a very well-deserved Hugo Award for Best Fanzine, that was so special. I definitely cried. Number 23, going to the Hugo Losers Party. I got invited as my friend Susan's +1, though I should say Susan did not lose a Hugo. As I mentioned just now, she very much won a Hugo as a co-editor for Lady Business, so that was really exciting, but I digress. The party itself was at the Steampunk Bar in central Helsinki. It was organised by George R. Martin, and so many people that I admire were there. How? In what universe did I become a person who was invited to any parties, let alone a party this cool? What is this? My teenage self would have been so effing proud of me. Relatedly, number 24, David Diggs was at that party. I said hello to David Diggs and he took a selfie with me. In case you couldn't tell by my feeling right now, this is definitely in all caps in my notes. We are now to the end of the convention section with number 25, my new coffee maker. Not as cool as meeting Daveed Diggs, but I am one of those people that's no good for anything in the morning until my first cup of coffee. I'm not a coffee connoisseur or anything. I don't really need fancy coffee. In fact, I used to mostly drink instant. I just love getting a consistently good tasty coffee now at the press of a button. It makes morning so much easier to deal with. Number 26, getting to talk to cool, interesting people that I really admire on Radio Free Fandom. Honestly, reaching out to people in the first place is the hardest part. I've struggled with imposter syndrome when asking people to come on the show, but so far everyone that I've asked has said yes and has been enthusiastic, and I love the conversations we end up having so much, so I'm really excited for that to continue in 2018. Number 27, seeing books about fandom happen more often. I've really enjoyed Grace and the Fever by Zan Romanoff, which is about a girl who is in boy band fandom, and I adored Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This one deals with a webcomic fandom. I also would like to check out 100,000 Worlds by Bob Prohl. This one is about actors going on the convention circuit, but in general it just makes me happy to see fandom in books because that's such a huge part of my life. Number 28, the zombie makeup that I did for my Halloween special video. It took a fair while to apply and a fair while to take off, but I loved doing it and I got the best reactions from people. John thought it was so disgusting. Number 29, Thor Ragnarok. That movie was so fun and colourful and I loved all the characters so much. It was great to see Loki being chaotic neutral instead of evil for once. I loved Valkyrie, of course. She kicks so much ass and she behaved exactly as she wanted, which was awesome. I was glad to see Bruce again. It was great to see Cate Blanchett having so much fun being evil, and Korg and his pamphlets. That was just such a delightful surprise. Number 30, this Poe Dameron comic that John gave me as one of my small Christmas presents this year. Look at Poe's face! Also, John accidentally bought volume 2, so that was an excellent excuse for me to go ahead and order myself volumes 1 and 3. And finally, number 31, going through the Yuletide tag on Archive of Our Own on Christmas Day and bookmarking fics that I want to read later. So that's it. Those were 31 things that made me happy in 2017. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below what kind of things made you happy this year, what helped you deal with the relentless barrage of awful news that was 2017. And if you'd rather not think about this past year anymore, then let me know what you're looking forward to in 2018. For me, it's mostly all of the cool new books that I found out about when I was researching for my most anticipated books of 2018 video, which should be coming out sometime next week. If you'd like to see more from me, you can check out a previous video right about here, and if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button that's on my face right about here for new videos from me every week. I've been Claire, thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.